Hello, my friends. Thank you for coming to play with the ideas that I present on my channel today. I wanted to talk to you about how do we come to believe that there is something beyond physical, something after life. You know, I follow a lot of really great podcasts. And NDEs are so popular now. Like, that's the proof of the afterlife. Now, I did die in 2008, and it was great fun. And I think what was so wonderful is I was out of pain. I was in excruciating pain when I died. But then they gave me morphine in the hospital, and I remember coming right back into the top of my head. I slid down a water slide, came back. Anyway, but that's not what convinced me of the afterlife. What convinced me of the afterlife was a dog from India. Okay, this dog, Chobi, was in the world of spirit. A young man from India wrote an email to me asking if I would do a reading on his dog, Chobi. And I said, well, no guarantees. I obviously wasn't on the phone with Jacob at the time. And I have to confess that I wasn't really sure how my mediumship worked. I mean, I kept seeing details that I absolutely could not see. I've done readings all over the world. I've done readings for people who never spoke English, and it was all visual. But even so, I thought, well, I can remote view. I can read people's minds, although I don't want to. I can know things. And when I'm on the phone with a client, maybe I'm just pulling these details from their memory somehow. So even as a practicing psychic, I needed proof. Okay. And this opportunity to talk to this dog in India, who had died in India, was my proof. When I opened in meditation with the intent to be with this dog, this beautiful female boxer was sitting right in front of me in my mind's eye. I mean, but she seemed to be really with me. And she was showing me things. She was showing me that she was cremated and her ashes were on an altar. She showed me the cloth that was there and the other items that were on the altar and near the altar. One of the things that was near the altar was her toy box. However, there was one toy that didn't fit in. I didn't see what it was at the time, but I knew that there was a toy that didn't fit in the toy box. I also saw her collar. It was a very elegant, not large collar that was part leather and part like brass chain. She also showed me a balcony that had cement underneath her when she laid on it, but she could see the treetops over it. She told me a lot about the family, about what had happened recently in the family. And of course, when I sent Jacob the written transcript, obviously, because at that time I couldn't send him a file of any sort that I could trust anyway, of the audio. He sent me back pictures, and I'm going to try and show you the pictures. So be patient with me. I'm not that technologically savvy, but I've been practicing this a little bit. So let me open whiteboard and oh dear. I'm sorry. Oh, there's the whiteboards. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your patience. Those of you who know me, I'm sure, will be patient with me. So he sent me photographs of what I had seen. And this is Chobi's altar. This is her lying outside on their, well, it wasn't a porch, it was a balcony. And I'm glad to see that she was on a pile of blankets. And at first in the photograph, it kind of looks like that's grass, but it isn't. Those are treetops. So clearly their apartment was kind of high up. And over here, on the top right, is her favorite toy, which was a soccer ball. And it did not fit into her toy box. And down here, I think Jacob just sent me this photograph because it's so darn sweet. He always slept under his bed. So now let's close this out. And I'm back. There's no way that I could have remote viewed or read Jacob's mind. This convinced me, the psychic of the afterlife. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. And you know, to talk about beliefs, I have a brother who doesn't believe in the afterlife. Actually, I have one brother in the world of spirit who probably didn't believe in it either. But since I've seen him since, he knows that he continued. And I think we're all afraid because we think there's some kind of judgment. Well, there is a review of the cause and effect that we created ourselves. But it's predominantly how we caused joy by loving each other. I think we're all so hard on ourselves. And it's just, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. And in fact, many deceased people tell me that they did not even experience a life review. And if there was anything, it was that their life flashed before their eyes just as they were dying, like a movie that was going backwards. Like if you had the old-fashioned movies on a reel and you ran it backwards, but it ran very fast and there really wasn't anything to do about it but to see it. So I just wanted to share today how I came to believe in the afterlife, in our metamorphosis to spirit. Why is it that this is time for us to understand so many aspects of the continuity of our individualized consciousness? It's really time for us to know this stuff again. There have been many, many brilliant spiritual geniuses before me, and I'm sure there'll be many after, but maybe my language is a little more accessible to this very time and place. I hope so. And I hope you are well, and please be well and please be blessed until I see you again. And thank you so much for your patience with my technology. It took me all morning to figure that one out. All right, we'll see you again soon.